Hi everyone, Rob Little, Little Enterprises. Let's talk about compartment storage cases. I love the professional organizer compartment storage cases. This is Stanley's Made in America version. I also use Harbor Freight's more budget-friendly storage cases, but I use these to store, of course, fasteners and all that kind of thing. But also, if I do a special project for a customer and there's small parts, all the fasteners, all the small parts, all the special stuff goes into a case and then gets stored and gets organized. I've always wanted a good way to rack these, to store them, and that's what I'm going to share with you. I'll share with you a system that I came up with that I could produce here in the shop very quickly, very cost effectively, and have multiple mounting options to rack these. In the past, what a lot of folks do is they build things like this. And I've actually had this for years and years. It's made out of wood. It references off of the rail there, and it works great if you're a woodworker. And it takes a little bit. You gotta have routers and you gotta glue and screw and put all those things together. But let me show you what I came up with. We'll go a little tour of the shop and look at all the different versions of this system that I've come up with. So let's go walk around. So what we have here is a rack mounted to the wall. This is the core of the system. It is two 3D printed parts with some 6061 aluminum tie rods, all screwed and glued together into this core component. So this component is then either screwed to the wall, or you can take this component with some long screws and you can actually start screwing them together and stacking them up to as many features as you want. So let me show you what it looks like on the wall here. These are Stanley, here's Harbor Freight. They all fit together. So these are screwed together, and I use adhesive between it too to make it more permanent. And then this whole assembly is mounted to the wall. It makes a very rigid, very strong, cost-effective solution for storing your bins. One of the other options is to take bins like this and actually store them underneath your workbench. So let me show you that version. So what I have here is a couple bins. Of course, these are all my drill bits and that kind of stuff, but these are bins of smaller pieces, and it's mounted underneath the workbench. Again, the core component of the system is one rack spot bolted together and then screwed to the underside of the bench. You can have one, you can have two, you might be able to have a whole bunch of these, and it's a convenient way of storing all of your bins underneath your workbench. Let me show you how I assemble a 6-slot rack system. Let's go over to the workbench, we'll put one together. I have everything here to put together a 6-slot rack. These are my 3D printed parts. I printed them out of ABS plastic. You can print them out of PLA or maybe nylon, your choice of durable, slightly flexible plastic. I chose ABS. It's gonna be inside. That's what I went with. These are our front and rear 6061 aluminum tie rods. We CNC machine these, and we have got all of our fasteners over here inside of a storage case. This one is actually from Harbor Freight. So let me show you how we put this together step by step. First thing we're gonna do is assemble each of the slots and then stack them all together, glue them together, screw them together, and then install that on the wall. All right, so let's get started. So we're gonna take our first ones and install the rear tie rod. So let's pull one of those out and just dive in here. You might need a hammer. Everything should be a snug fit. Once it's in place, you put your flathead. These are 1024 flathead screws with the number 2 Phillips. Now you can use power tools, but just remember this is 3D printed plastic, so you don't want to Popeye it. You can smash that plastic. It just needs to be firm and snug. So there's one, and here's the other. The good thing about CNC machining these parts is the tolerances are, plus or minus 5 thousandths. Everything's gonna fit together perfect. Now we're gonna put on the front tie rod. These are installed using special plastic screws, terrific screws. These are number 4, and you have to use a number 1 Phillips on these. What I'd like to do is get one screw started on one side and go ahead and jump over to the screw on the other side, just to keep things from flopping around. These plastic screws are actually thread forming screws, so they actually form the threads in the plastic without cracking it. So in the kit, you're gonna get all the fasteners, you'll get the CNC machine tie rods, and you can print your own plastic parts, or you can purchase them from us, and we can ship the whole kit, and you can assemble it there, or if you want us to assemble the whole kit and ship it to you fully assembled, ready to set on your workbench or mount on your wall, we can do that also. It'll all be on our website. Okay, so what we just did, we just assembled one slot of our rack. So I'm gonna keep on trucking here, and I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the next 5 to make a 6-slot section. So we have all of the slots for our 6-count rack done. So now we need to assemble these 6. I'm gonna start from the bottom up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to screw these 2 together. So these, all the holes that are in these 3D printed parts, they're sized for the screws to bite, but we do need to drill out the next one as a clearance hole, because the screw is going to pass through this one and bite into this one and screw the 2 together. And then we're going to work our way up. So if this hole right here is going to take our 3.5-inch screw, it's going to go down, it's going to screw into here. So that means the next one, as we work our way up, we're going to stagger over to this one. And then the next one, we're gonna switch over to that one, and we're gonna work our way all the way up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to glue these together. This is nothing that I'm gonna be taking apart and putting back together again. This is gonna get mounted on the wall. And I'm going to try some ABS solvent cement. This is ABS plastic, so I'm gonna glue it together. It's gonna become one permanent piece mounted on the wall to hold our storage rack. So let's get started with that one. So the bottom one, we don't need any clearance holes. This one, we need our clearance hole. So let's get our drill bit, and the drill bit size that I'm using is 7/32. That should give us lots of clearance to drill this. So let's switch that out, drill these, and put them together. So I'm going to start with the outside holes. Maybe I should turn it to the drill setting, not the screw setting. All right, all the way through that one. There's that one. So now these go all the way through. And we're going to screw it down on top of there. Let's put some cement on here and do that. I would suggest doing this in a well-ventilated area. You got some good solvent here. So if you like this kind of thing, like and subscribe to our channel. Coming up in the next few months, I'm going to compare the strength of 6 different types of glues on 3D printed plastic. So we're going to put it on a computerized testing machine and put these things at attention and find out what glue actually holds the best. And then after that test, we'll do 3M tape and all the other VHB tapes. So stay tuned, that's coming down the path. All right, so we're all glued up. Let's screw these together. I'm going to switch over by hand so I don't over torque it. I over torqued that last one. That's my fault. But the glue is gonna hold it. All right, so that's 2. And we're just gonna keep on going up. Keep on building straight up, doing the same thing. So next, we're going to have clearance holes on the inside. So you might be wondering, of these holes, we have a countersink up top, of course, for the flathead, but why is there a countersink on the bottom? You can mount this under a workbench, and that way the screw will be going this direction. That's why they're countersunk on that side. And if you wanted to do this under a workbench, you could do the same thing. You could mount one underneath a workbench and work from basically the top down. Screw on one here, screw on. So you could take this whole thing and mount it underneath your workbench. So that's why these holes are chamfered on both sides. Coming soon in one of our next videos is expanding on this design. You might be wondering why there are extra holes in the front here. Well, the reason is we have an extension that'll go on the front, and we'll have panels that'll go on the top and the bottom, locks that hold the bins in place, and a wall mounted hanger so you can hang this on the wall and take it off the wall. As a matter of fact, we're testing it right now, a quick release mechanism, so you can lock it in place, release the latch, take it with you to a job site, bring it back, lock it in place, and do that over and over again. That way your racks become your toolbox, and then your toolbox mounts inside of your utility van or your trailer. So, all right, there we go. We've got 6. It's super rigid, and we could wait for that glue to set up. I'm not going to. If you look on the back here, each one of these rear rails have got holes. Now, we don't have to use all of these, but these holes are at 16 inches on center. So that should line up with studs in your garage. And you could screw and use every last one of those. You're gonna have enough screws to do that, but you probably only need about 4 to hang it on the wall. And what you're gonna get is you're gonna get these massive number 14 by 2 inch. These are sheet metal screws, but they'll go right into wood. You might need to pre-drill it a little bit. And that way, if you need to go into wood, it'll work. If you need to go into sheet metal, it'll work. That's why we're providing big sheet metal screws, because they work also. So let's go find a spot and mount this on our wall. It's time to mount our 6-slot rack onto the wall. I've already got one here, so I'm gonna mount it right next to that one. And there's a stud right here behind my metal paneling. So I'm gonna go right into that stud, and I'll probably add another 2 or 4 more screws in there just to hold it in place. But that stud should hold the whole thing. So because it's a little deep, got to have an extension on here, and we'll get this thing installed. I really like that. That turned out really well. I could probably add a few more up top, but that's good for right now. And now I can start loading it up with all of the boxes, get them off of the counter. Workspace is super valuable. Getting everything up off of the workbench, up where it's super handy, is really nice. So Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you decide to make some of these things, I hope you enjoy them. Hope this helps. God bless. We'll see you on the next video.